Welcome to a deep dive into the world of Terence McKenna and his 1971 expedition to the Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're going to be unpacking his autobiographical account, True Hallucinations, which details his search for this mysterious hallucinogen known as ukuhi.
Okay.
And ukuhi, as you'll discover, is just the tip of the iceberg in this story.
That's right. McKenna's book goes way beyond like a typical psychedelic trip report.
Yeah.
It grapples with some really profound questions about consciousness, shamanism, and even hints at the possibility of extraterrestrial contact.
So picture this, 1971, the Amazon rainforest, and a group of young adventurers disillusioned with Western society
Right.
and captivated by the potential of psychedelics.
Yeah.
So you've got Terrence and his brother Dennis, along with their friends Ev, Vanessa, and Dave, all setting off into the unknown.
Wow.
What were they hoping to find out there?
Well, they really believed that these plants held a key to unlocking like hidden knowledge,
Yeah.
a path to a new era for humanity. They yearned for these transformative experiences and were determined to bring back whatever insights they could glean.
Yeah, and their journey begins with a very unexpected encounter. While near the town of Florencia,
Yeah.
they stumble upon Stropharia cubensis mushrooms.
Okay.
Casually eating one.
Oh, wow.
Terrence describes this first experience as this wave of awe at the vastness of the sky,
Yeah.
a feeling that really foreshadows the profound experiences to come. How significant was this seemingly random encounter, in your opinion?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? This chance meeting with the mushroom really kind of sets the tone for their entire adventure.
Yeah.
It suggests that perhaps the psychedelic experience is less about seeking and more about being found.
That's a fascinating perspective, is like the experience was waiting for them. Now, as they ventured deeper into the Amazon,
Yeah.
navigating treacherous rivers and encountering indigenous communities,
Wow.
they also crossed paths with a character named Solo. Tell me about Solo.
So Solo is this incredibly charismatic figure, but as the story unfolds, we see him become increasingly erratic. He had some rather eccentric beliefs,
Yeah.
and even claimed to be, various historical figures.
Oh, wow.
So this naturally led to tension, particularly with Terence, who had a more scientific approach to their exploration.
Right.
Their conflicting personalities really highlight a key theme that runs throughout the book.
Yeah.
This clash between belief and skepticism.
That sounds like a recipe for drama, especially deep in the Amazon. And speaking of drama, things get even more complicated when we learn that Ev, who was initially with Solo,
Yeah.
becomes Terrence's lover.
Right. That definitely adds a layer of interpersonal complexity to their expedition.
Yeah.
And this dynamic is only heightened when they finally arrive at La Chorrera,
Okay.
a mission station on the edge of Huito territory.
Now, La Chorrera is where their search for He takes a more serious turn, when you say.
Absolutely. They meet Dr. Guzman,
Okay.
an anthropologist studying the Huito people,
Yeah.
and he throws some cold water on their quest. He tells them that ukukaro is a secret men's knowledge,
Yeah.
something that's slowly fading away. This encounter really underscores the challenges of trying to bridge Western science and indigenous knowledge systems.
And despite the skepticism,
Yeah.
they do manage to connect with a Huito shaman
Okay.
and his son, Basilio, who introduced them to the world of ayahuasca.
Wow.
Could this be seen as a turning point in their journey?
I think it's a crucial moment.
Right.
You see them shifting from like casual psychedelic experimentation
Yeah.
to a more intentional engagement with the shamanic world.
Right.
Ayahuasca, this potent hallucinogenic brew,
Yeah.
plays a central role in many indigenous spiritual practices in the Amazon.
Right.
This encounter marks their entry into that world.
So they've had their initial encounter with the Stropharia cubensis mushrooms.
Right.
They've met the shaman and experienced ayahuasca. It seems like they're going deeper and deeper into this world of altered states of consciousness.
Yes, and it's at La Chorrera where they have another significant encounter with those same mushrooms, finding them in abundance.
Right.
This leads to a shared experience where Terence and Dave venture into a pasture at night and witness strange lights.
Okay, this sounds intriguing. Strange lights.
Yeah.
Was this the beginning of their encounters with the unexplained?
This is where Terence introduces the concept of the mushroom as a seemingly sentient entity
Yeah.
that begins communicating with him and Dennis.
Okay.
And it really deepens their exploration of consciousness,
Yeah.
suggesting that the psychedelic experience might be more than just hallucinations.
Yeah.
It's like they've tapped into something beyond their understanding.
That's quite a claim, a talking mushroom.
Yeah.
And as if that wasn't enough, Dennis,
Right.
a biochemist, develops this pretty radical theory about how to manipulate the human body's bioelectric field
Okay.
using sound and specific psychoactive substances. What can you tell us about that?
Well, as out there as it might sound.
Yeah.
Dennis's theory actually stems from their research on the chemistry of the brain
Right.
and how psychedelics can impact consciousness.
So he's trying to apply a scientific framework
Yeah.
to these increasingly mystical experiences. It sounds like they're walking a tightrope between the rational and the unknown. What exactly was he hoping to achieve with this theory?
Well, he believed that by combining specific psychoactive substances, like the mushrooms and ayahuasca,
Yeah.
with harmonic vocalizations,
Okay.
they could create what he called a superconducting genetic matrix.
Wow.
Now, this might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie,
Right.
but he envisioned it as a way to potentially access a higher dimension.
Wow.
An incredibly ambitious concept,
Yeah.
a fusion of science and mysticism.
It really pushes the boundaries of what we typically consider possible. Did he elaborate on what this superconducting genetic matrix would actually look like, or
Yeah.
what experiencing it might entail?
He didn't go into specific visual details, but he believed it would involve a fundamental shift in consciousness,
Right.
a transcendence of ordinary reality.
So to explore this theory,
Yeah.
they designed an experiment at La Charrera,
Yeah.
using themselves as subjects. The effects, as described in the book, were mind-bending, to say the least. Dennis experienced a schizophrenic break,
Oh, wow.
while Terence believed he achieved telepathic communication.
Wow.
That sounds incredibly intense. Did they ever reconcile these experiences with their scientific understanding of the brain, or did it push them further into the realm of the unexplained?
It definitely blurred the lines for them.
Yeah.
You see the group grapple with the aftermath of the experiment,
Yeah.
struggling to understand what happened.
Hmm.
Some, like Terence, leaned further into their belief in the mystical,
Yeah.
while others became more skeptical.
Right.
This creates a growing divide within the group,
Yeah.
adding another layer of tension to their already complex dynamic.
And amidst all this, Solo, the eccentric figure we talked about earlier,
Right.
decides he's had enough and abruptly leaves the expedition, vanishing into the jungle.
Wow.
Did his departure affect the group's dynamics, or did it provide a sense of relief?
His departure seems significant on multiple levels.
Right.
While his presence created tension, he also offered a contrasting perspective.
Yeah.
Without him, did they lose a valuable voice?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was often a dissenting one. It's something to consider. However, in the immediate aftermath, you do see a shift. With Sola gone,
Right.
Terence and the others can focus more intently on their research, delving deeper into the mysteries they've encountered.
It's like a pressure valve has been released. But with Solo gone, things take an even stranger turn. Dennis, still deep in his altered state, undergoes a shamanic journey where he seemingly embodies their ancestors.
Okay.
And then there's the incident with the marijuana.
Ah, yes. The
Yeah.
marijuana transforming into hashish.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Their marijuana spontaneously changed into hashish.
Just one of the most bizarre and seemingly unbelievable events in the book.
Did McKenna attempt to explain this phenomenon scientifically?
Right.
Or did he present it as a mystery?
He describes it in detail, even having Ev, who is skeptical,
Right.
confirm that it was indeed hashish. But he doesn't offer a concrete explanation. It's just another example of the increasingly surreal events unfolding at La Charrera.
So you have Dennis on a shamanic journey.
Yeah.
Marijuana morphing into hashish.
Right.
And all the while, Terence is still communicating with this entity he calls the mushroom.
Right.
What direction does this communication take? Does it provide any answers or clarity?
The messages become increasingly cryptic, almost like riddles.
Hmm.
And then, amidst this heightened state of strangeness,
Yeah.
Terence has a vivid encounter with what he believes is a UFO.
A UFO sighting. This is where the story really goes beyond the typical psychedelic experience. What did he describe seeing?
He describes it initially appearing like a cloud,
Okay.
then transforming into a rivet-studded aircraft.
Oh.
He grapples with whether it was a hallucination or a temporal mirage, a glimpse into another time or dimension.
So even he's questioning the nature of his own perception. Did this encounter have a lasting impact on his thinking?
I think
Or was it just another strange event in a string of strange events?
the UFO encounter seems to be a turning point for Terence.
Right.
It shifts his focus
Right.
from the search for Ukuhi
Yeah.
to an obsession with time.
Okay.
He dives into developing his time wave zero theory,
Right.
convinced he's discovered a hidden structure underlying the unfolding of novelty in the universe.
Time wave zero, that's the theory he became known for, isn't it?
Yes.
The one that predicts a point of singularity or a shift in consciousness. Can you explain the core idea behind this theory?
Imagine a wave that maps the ebb and flow of novelty throughout history,
Yeah.
culminating in a point of maximum complexity, a kind of evolutionary climax.
Okay.
That's the essence of time wave zero. It tapped into a deep human desire to find meaning in patterns, to see order amidst chaos.
Right.
And while the specific date he predicted, December 20th, 2012, has passed without a global shift in consciousness,
Yeah.
the idea still holds a certain allure.
It's intriguing how these experiences, from the encounter with the talking mushroom
Right.
to the alleged UFO sighting, fuel his theories.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to make sense of the inexplicable through grand, overarching narrative.
Exactly. And his theories, while controversial,
Yeah.
raise important questions about the nature of reality,
Right.
consciousness, and our place in the universe.
Right.
They challenge us to expand our understanding of what's possible.
So we have this group of explorers deeply immersed in the world of psychedelics, encountering strange phenomena and developing radical theories.
Right.
What happens when their Amazon adventure comes to an end?
Okay.
Do they return to the U.S. transformed by their experiences?
Well, Terence does return to the U.S., but his attempt to integrate his experiences into everyday life isn't easy. He has this perplexing encounter with a man named Dr. Karl Heinz,
Okay.
who offers him a chance to return to the Amazon
Yeah.
with a research team.
Okay.
He believes Heinz might be connected to a powerful mining corporation, possibly with ties to former Nazis,
Wow.
adding a layer of paranoia and intrigue to the story.
It sounds like he can't quite escape the pull of the Amazon,
Right.
or perhaps the mystery of his experiences there. Was this Dr. Heinz a legitimate figure, or was he part of something more sinister?
The question that lingers.
Yeah.
When Terence later tries to contact Heinz at a scientific conference, Heinz denies ever meeting him.
Wow.
It's a chilling moment, leaving you to wonder about Heinz's true intentions
Right.
and the nature of Terence's experiences.
Right.
Was he caught in a web of conspiracy, or was it all a product of his altered perceptions?
It's a question that adds another layer of complexity to the already mind-boggling narrative. And then there's the final encounter with the voice of the mushroom,
Yeah.
which seems to offer some profound insights into the nature of consciousness and evolution.
Yes, this final interaction is crucial. The mushroom, in its cryptic way, reveals its perspective on the potential for symbiotic relationships between species, even hinting at knowledge of hyperlight drive shifts
Wow.
and a desire to spread throughout the galaxy.
So even in this final message, there's a blend of the familiar, the scientific, and the utterly fantastical. What are we to make of these claims?
Right.
Is the mushroom simply a figment of Terence's imagination?
Yes.
Or could it be something more?
The question McKenna leaves us with, he doesn't provide definitive answers,
Right.
but instead invites us to consider the possibilities.
It's like he's challenging us to expand our understanding of consciousness, to entertain the idea that there might be intelligences beyond our comprehension, communicating in ways we're only beginning to grasp.
Exactly.
And this final encounter, with its suggestion of extraterrestrial contact and the role of psychedelics in facilitating such connections, pushes the narrative into truly uncharted territory. It forces us to confront the limits of our current understanding and to embrace the vast unknown.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
So we have this incredible journey through the Amazon, filled with mind-bending experiences, encounters with the unexplained, and the development of radical theories. But what does it all mean for us, the listeners? Why should we care about Terence McKenna's psychedelic adventures and his often controversial ideas?
That's the heart of it, isn't it?
Right.
McKenna's story, whether you interpret it literally or metaphorically, reminds us that there's still so much we don't know about ourselves, our consciousness, and the universe we inhabit. He challenges us to question our assumptions,
Right.
to be open to new ways of perceiving reality and to embrace the mystery of existence.
It's a call to explore the unknown,
Yeah.
both within and beyond ourselves.
Right.
It's about recognizing the limitations of our current knowledge
Yeah.
and being willing to step outside those boundaries.
Precisely. And perhaps, as McKenna suggests,
Yeah.
the most profound discoveries lie in those spaces where science,
Right.
spirituality,
Yeah.
and the inexplicable converge.
As we delve further into this discussion, let's unpack some of the key themes and questions that emerge from McKenna's book,
Okay.
exploring the intersection of science and shamanism,
Yeah.
the ethical implications of psychedelic use,
Right.
and the potential of these substances to expand human consciousness. We'll also examine the impact of these experiences on McKenna's life and work,
Yeah.
and consider what his story might teach us about the nature of reality and the search for meaning in a world filled with both wonder and uncertainty.
That's quite a journey. One of the things that struck me about McKenna's story is this tension between his scientific background and his increasingly mystical experiences. Did he ever reconcile these seemingly opposing perspectives, or did this conflict fuel his later work?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? You can see this tension play out throughout the book.
Yeah.
On one hand, he's a biochemist trained in rational inquiry and scientific methodology. But on the other hand, he's having these profound experiences that defy explanation,
Right.
encounters with entities and phenomena that challenge the very foundations of scientific understanding.
It's like he's straddling two worlds.
Right.
The world of reason and the world of the inexplicable.
Yeah.
Did he ever find a way to bridge that gap?
I think rather than trying to reconcile them, he embraced the paradox. He saw science and shamanism not as mutually exclusive, but as complementary ways of exploring reality. Science provides a framework for understanding the physical world, while shamanism delves into the realm of consciousness, the subjective experience of being.
So instead of seeing them as conflicting,
Right.
he saw them as different lenses through which to view the same reality.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes his work so compelling. He's not afraid to ask the big questions,
Yeah.
to push the boundaries of what we think we know.
It's a reminder
Yeah.
that there's still so much we don't understand about the universe and our place within it.
Right.
And this brings up another important theme,
Yeah.
the ethical considerations surrounding psychedelic use.
Right.
McKenna was clearly a proponent of these substances,
Yeah.
but he also acknowledged the potential risks.
Right.
How did he navigate that complexity?
Well, he emphasized the importance of intention, setting, and integration. He believed that psychedelics could be powerful tools for personal growth and spiritual exploration,
Yeah.
but stressed that they should be approached with respect and careful preparation.
Right.
He didn't shy away from the fact that these experiences could be challenging, even destabilizing. But he saw that potential for disruption as an opportunity for transformation.
So it's not about simply taking a drug and hoping for a good time.
Right.
It's about engaging in a conscious process of exploration and integration.
Precisely. And that's where the role of the shaman or guide becomes so crucial. In many indigenous cultures, these substances are used within a ritualistic context,
Right.
guided by experienced practitioners who provide support and help individuals navigate the often intense experiences that arise.
McKenna's own journey really highlights the importance of that guidance.
Yeah.
Especially given the extreme experiences he and his brother went through.
Right.
It makes you wonder what would have happened if they had approached these substances
Right.
without that level of preparation and support.
It's a question worth pondering. And it speaks to the need for responsible use and the development of ethical guidelines as these substances become more widely available.
Absolutely.
It's crucial to approach this topic with a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the potential benefits and the inherent risks. Right. Now, McKenna's story also raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness itself.
Okay.
He suggests that psychedelics can expand our awareness, allowing us to tap in to hidden dimensions of reality. What are your thoughts on this idea?
It's a compelling notion, isn't it? The idea that our ordinary state of consciousness is just one slice of a much larger spectrum of possibilities.
Right.
And while there's still much we don't understand about how these substances work on the brain,
Yeah.
there's growing evidence that they can alter our perceptions,
Right.
dissolve our sense of self, and create experiences of interconnectedness that transcend our everyday understanding.
It's like cracking open a door to a world we didn't even know existed.
Right.
And McKenna suggests that this expanded awareness could have profound implications for our understanding of who we are
Yeah.
and our place in the universe.
Yes, he believed that these experiences could catalyze a shift in human consciousness, leading to a more interconnected and harmonious way of being. Whether or not you agree with his specific theories,
Right.
it's hard to deny the potential of these substances to shake us out of our habitual ways of thinking
Yeah.
and open us up to new possibilities.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into true hallucinations,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you would want our listener to take away from this exploration of McKenna's life and ideas?
I think the most important takeaway is a sense of curiosity.
Hmm.
McKenna's story is a testament to the power of asking questions,
Right.
challenging assumptions,
Yeah.
and embracing the unknown.
Right.
Whether you interpret his experiences literally or metaphorically,
Yeah.
they invite us to reconsider our understanding of reality,
Hmm.
consciousness,
Yeah.
and the very nature of what it means to be human.
It's a call to adventure, to
Right?
explore the inner and outer landscapes of our existence with open minds and a sense of wonder.
Exactly. And who knows what we might discover along the way.
The journey is the destination.
Absolutely.
It's been incredible unpacking all of this with you. Thank you for sharing your insights. And to our listener, we encourage you to continue exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the mysteries that surround us.
It's a big universe out there.
There's a whole universe out there waiting to be discovered, both within and beyond the confines of our everyday perceptions.
You know, as we kind of wrap up this exploration of true hallucinations,
Yeah.
what are some of the key takeaways for our listeners who may be unfamiliar with McKenna's work? What would you say are the most important things to remember about his story and his ideas?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember about McKenna is that he was a storyteller. He was a brilliant communicator who could weave together complex ideas and make them accessible to a wide audience.
Yeah.
And his story, even if you don't take it literally, is full of profound insights into the nature of reality, consciousness, and the human experience.
Right. And even though some people criticize him for being too speculative or too out there,
His work really does challenge us to think outside the box and to question our assumptions about the world. He encourages us to be open to new possibilities and to explore the unknown. And I think that's a really valuable message.
exactly, he wasn't afraid to ask the big questions, questions about the nature of consciousness, the origins of the universe,
Yep.
the possibility of extraterrestrial life. And even if he didn't always have the answers,
Right.
he wasn't afraid to speculate and to invite others to join him in that exploration.
And that's something I find so fascinating about his work. He's not presenting himself as an authority figure who has all the answers.
Right.
He's more like a fellow traveler who's sharing his experiences and insights along the way.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes him so relatable. He's honest about his own struggles and doubts,
Yeah.
and he doesn't shy away from the dark side of the psychedelic experience.
Mm.
He acknowledges that these substances can be dangerous if they're not used responsibly.
Mm. And that brings us to another important point, the ethical considerations surrounding psychedelic use.
Right. I mean, McKenna was clearly a proponent of these substances, but he also recognized the potential risks.
Yeah.
He emphasized the importance of set and setting, of having a clear intention and a safe and supportive environment.
Yeah. And also the importance of integration.
Absolutely. Integration is crucial. It's about taking those insights and experiences that you have during a psychedelic journey
Yeah.
and finding ways to apply them to your everyday life.
Right. It's not just about having a mystical experience and then forgetting about it. It's about making those insights meaningful and transformative in your life.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real value of psychedelics lies. They can be powerful tools for self-discovery and personal growth,
Yeah.
but only if they're used with intention and respect.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Terence McKenna's True Hallucinations, what's the one question you'd like to leave our listeners with? Something for them to ponder as they continue their own explorations of consciousness and the mysteries of the universe.
Well, I think I'd ask them to consider this. What if the world is even stranger and more wonderful than we can possibly imagine? What if there are dimensions of reality that we haven't even begun to explore?
That's a great question.
And what if the key to unlocking those mysteries lies within our own consciousness?
Yeah, it's been amazing unpacking all of this with you. Thank you for sharing your incredible insights.
It's been a pleasure. Always happy to talk about McKenna.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to check out True Hallucinations for yourselves and dive into the strange, wonderful, and thought-provoking world of Terence McKenna. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking the truth wherever it may lead.